Today we start Season 2 at Wanderers FC, and whilst I don't want to pin too many of my hopes on one individual player, never mind a child, that is kind of how I'm feeling going into this season. Andy White, listed as our hot prospect, the more I look at him, the better I think he can be. He is going to make his league debut for us starting today, one of a few kids who came through our youth intake who are going to be doing that, but with 16 determination, 14 leadership, some insane height, loads of potential allegedly. This man, he could be a future captain. Probably getting a bit carried away. That's how highly I rate this man. And we need him to be at his very best, because this season, I want to get out of this division. Last year, we fell at the final hurdle in the playoffs. I'm looking at that automatic promotion spot thinking, that would be nice. Right now, season preview has us down as 4th favourites for the top spot. Today is the start of season number 2 at Wanderers FC. It is Monday. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Let's run the intro. Barrow and Eastleigh await us. Of course, it does go without saying, if you didn't catch the transfer specials at the end of last week, you should go watch them. Before we head into the first games, though, today, I am going to do a little bit of a squad rundown, catch you up on players like Andy White, players who I expect to break into the team, maybe some players I'm not so happy with, and all that goodness. Now, first and foremost, tactically, I'm not going to be changing our plans too much this year, at least to start the year. The system that you can see on the right-hand side of the screen was a system that fundamentally got us second place in the league last year with a weaker squad than the squad we have right now. And of course, we have added some more strength this year. And I suppose that is reflected in the fact that the board's expectation for the year is to reach the Vanarama National Playoffs. Of course, over the summer, we got a new contract signed at the club, which is very, very good. In terms of the board summary, you can see here, delighted with the leadership, and A- to start the season always feels good. And when you look at the fan and supporter reaction to the signings we've made over the summer, I feel like it's mostly positive. They're a bit angry about some of the sales, but in terms of players that we've signed, I feel like we've added some really good players. Of those signings that we've made, the one that the fans think is most exciting is Charlie Whittaker. The 21-year-old is a very exciting centre attacking mid. Allegedly, according to my assistant, better than Thorndike. That remains to be seen. Nevertheless, Whittaker here can play at centre attacking mid, can play at striker as well. £1,000 a week as a free transfer. I really like the look of him. And to be fair, our squad as a whole does look really, really good. Joe Rose is still going to be our main man in goal. He was exceptional as far as I'm concerned last year. I'm a bit concerned he doesn't like important games, but given the fact that this year I don't want to be in the playoffs, hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Of course, Olo Doherty was last year's backup goalkeeper. He is still here on a new contract, which is good to see. And the other backup goalkeeper we have is Miles Roberts. If we get injuries in the goalkeeping position, I feel prepared. Now, when it comes to the centre-backs in the team, Spencer Addons is still very much leading the way. Our set-piece weapon, last year he got 10 goals in 39 games. From a defensive point of view, he wasn't necessarily the best. I want to blame that on the players around him last year. He's got some new company either side of him. And those two players are two former Manchester United youngsters that we signed right at the beginning of the summer. Louis Jackson, Jack Kingdom. I like the look of these two guys a lot. People keep worrying whenever they see players with Scottish flags appearing that I've broken the transfer rules. Fret not. We literally physically cannot sign anyone who's not English here. They all have it as secondary nationality. Now, Jackson here was a late addition to the team in the summer. Originally, I thought he was going to be the backup to Hockenhull. Then I compared them. And I'll hold up my hands and say it, I didn't realise how good Louis Jackson is. So this man is going to be one of our 3 starting centre-backs. Sorry to Ben, you played quite well after I signed you in January last year. You're a backup now. Speaking of our other backup defensive options, we have one player who can play on the right-hand side of the defence and one who can play on the left side. Travis Johnson, of course, was in the team last year, was our right centre-back player. Not the best from a defensive point of view, but I think he can come in and play centre-back. Of course, the fact he can play wing-back is nice. And as a complementary option, on the other side, Noah Watson is basically the same kind of player. A left centre-back who can play left wing-back. I feel like that kind of versatility always useful at this level. So those 6 options are going to be the centre-backs in the team. I'm hoping that's going to be substantial depth. When it comes to the wing-back department, Connor Pye joined us in January last year alongside Hockenhull, was really, really good. He is nailing down that left-back spot. The only real competition he's got in that area is Noah Watson and then our new youth academy prospect in Aaron Allen. I'm going to have this guy on the bench, I think, to start this year. He's probably not bench worthy, but he's the kind of player who I'd love to give game time to. Throw him onto the pitch, play him at left back, see what he can do. 16, loads of potential, super consistent. I like him a lot. And speaking of young wing-backs, out on the right-hand side of our defence, Ajaria. A lot of hopes pinned on this guy, who's still learning to play right wing back. Of course, Sammy Robinson was our starting right back last year, was our player of the year. He's left to go to Kilmarnock. I'm looking at this guy to fill those boots. It's not going to be easy for him. I am a little reassured that if he doesn't perform, alongside Travis Johnson, we'd also have Harlock as an alternative right wing-back option. Of course, in the heart of our midfield, Callum Hume is still the man of the moment. He is the one player, if I'm being honest, I really can't afford to get injured at any point this year. I don't have an amazing regista like this guy. Never mind another set-piece taker this good. Alongside him to start the year is going to be Callum Jones. In the summer, I identified this need to get in a really good defensive midfielder. I was looking for someone with maybe a little bit more tackling and a little more marking, but Callum Jones here, at 24 years old, came in as a free transfer. I think he's an absolute bargain. If we actually just look at him as a defensive midfielder on support, ticks so many of the boxes for this position. Super consistent as well. Really excited to see how he gets on. George Doling was the starting defensive midfielder last year. He slips down the pecking order a little bit. He will be battling it out for that defensive mid position alongside Joe Barres. Currently not as good as some of the other defensive mids in our team, and when you look at his training lately, I'll admit it doesn't look good, but breakthrough prospect, £500 a week. If we need to call upon him, I think he's going to be able to do the business. One of our best players last year was Finlay Thorndike. The 23-year-old will be starting at centre attacking mid. Has got a little bit of competition in that area. Jack Morehouse at 19 is a player who I'd love to see develop. His current abilities may be lacking a little bit, but according to our scouts, lots of potential. Could be a League One player. Definitely looking for him to come in and make an impact. Last year, the depth that we had in the squad wasn't good enough for me to be able to rotate the team fully. I look at this squad, I look at the star ratings, I look at the overall quality. I really feel like we're in such a better spot now in that regard. I already talked about Charlie Whittaker. He could be competing with Thorndike for that centre attacking mid position, although I do view this man as someone who may end up playing striker more than centre attacking mid. And well, speaking of strikers, last year's top goal scorer was McGlynn, wasn't it? It wasn't Overton, it was McGlynn. He has not had the best of pre-seasons. He's managed to twist my arm into giving him a new contract. If I'm being honest, I don't see him playing as much this year. Overton was the man who I was really pinning a lot of hopes on. He's got injured, you can see here, failed a fitness test. What that means is that Whittaker is going to be playing at striker. And of course, this man, Andy White, I'm looking at him. I'm bigging him up more and more. The more I look at him, the more I like him. He's going to be starting this first game of the year. With Overton injured, I realise I've got a little bit of a decision to make. Do I want to play Charlie Whittaker, who's not had much of a pre-season, or do I want to play McGlynn? And you know what? I'm giving the nod to Charlie. 2 new strikers to start today's episode. I'm hoping they're going to play well. Anyway, that brings us on nicely to this first game of the year. I feel like off the back of transfer specials, I like to do a little bit of a team recap. It gives you a good idea of players to keep an eye on, who I'm expecting to perform, kind of how the pieces fit together. Going into the season, I don't really feel like there's any gap in terms of depth, with the exception of perhaps just that regista position. But Hume barely missed a game last year. Going to keep faith in him. And as I've already mentioned, this is the team that we're going to go with. White and Ajaria, the first products of our youth intakes and our youth academy, to start fixtures for us. That is very, very exciting. Of course, Jones making his debut, Jackson and Kingdom making their debuts, Whittaker as well, alongside a few players who performed really well last year. Some substantial improvements. I'm praying we're going to see that on the pitch. Barrow, as a refresher, were just relegated from the Football League. They're a good little team. Sam Barnes is their key man. He's a good centre-back. You can tell Charlie Whittaker arrived late because I need to give him a squad number. You know what? Number 11. This is the first time I'm actually given a player a number properly in this save game. Let's do this. I do feel like as the home team, we should be more than capable of dispatching Barrow. They have lost a few really good players during the pre-season off the back of their relegation. They're there for the taking. They started the season before the transfers happened as second favourites for the league. They are now like firmly in the bottom half. They are a weakened team. We need to be ruthless. Okay, throw in on the far side. Ajaria, welcome to the team. Jones, Ajaria. Hume now with the ball, looking to get it in. Where is White? I tell you what, White is massive in the match engine. He's 193 centimetres tall, which is 6 foot something. Because he's 16 and a regen as well, he could grow. He could get bigger than he is right now. Andy White, I don't know, I feel like he's going to be the boy to aim for. He is our big tall striker that we didn't really have last year. Kingdom to Ajaria. Imagine if Ajaria could cross it to White. Wouldn't that be poetic? Hume, Thorndike, looking to get it somewhere. Ball's played forward. Whittaker misses the target completely. Okay, it's Pye now on this side of the pitch. Hume back to Pye. Hume, I'm looking for a ball into a dangerous area. Kingdom, right centre-back. Jones scores. I mean, I've not brought him in as a defensive midfielder to do that. That's fine if he wants to keep doing that. It's also just dawned on me, I've been calling Jack Kingdom, not Kingdon. I just feel like there's more pun potential, isn't there? Like, his kingdom is coming, Jones is scoring, it's 1-0. I can call him Your Highness or something. I don't know. There's nickname potential with the name Kingdom. Okay, really good start to this game. Halfway through this first half. They've not had a shot yet. We've had over 65% of possession. Of course, possession is good. Goals are better. Let's get more goals. Goals mean prizes. Points mean prizes. Points mean promotion. Ajaria at right back, going on a wander. Going on his own. I thought we were about to see a magical moment. It's gone out for a throw-in. So that is awkward. How can I not praise the players at the moment? We are bullying Barrow here. They have done nothing. I wish we're having a few more shots. But you know what? If they don't have a shot, they can't win. Unless we score an own goal. Right, we've got a corner here. Pye is the man over it. He's going to whip it into the middle. Kingdon is under it. Kingdon has his header cleared off the line. And after a few chances to end the half, the game does finish at half-time 1-0. They had one shot right at the end of the half. We're playing really, really well. Don't really want to change anything here. I mean, if I was going to change anything, I might consider changing White's role in the team. I do look at his jumping reach and his heading and his aerial ability thinking, you know, target forward, could he just be the big man? I just feel like he lacks some of the mentals for this, but at the same time, I'm willing to experiment. It's early on in the season. The issue for White is he has some good attributes for certain roles, but also awful attributes for every single role. Like, he's a good tall man. He's got like 6 strength. He could be an okay pressing forward. His mentals aren't the best for pressing and being brave and stuff. It's a little bit frustrating, but I feel like he's got a goal-scoring pedigree. I say that, he's never scored a goal for us yet, but I'm still going to be blindly optimistic. Now, Whittaker is lacking match sharpness just due to the fact he signed for us late in pre-season. I'm going to bring in McGlynn in behind. Might be a controversial change here. I'm going to take off Thorndike. I'm going to bring in Morehouse. Want to get some fresh legs in that final third. I'd love to get that second goal that I feel like we almost deserve. I'm not going to say we have a divine right to it, but it feels like it's coming. And, well, it's not going to... I was going to say it's not going to come if Jones shoots like that. He has scored one earlier. That one was less of a chance. 10 minutes left of this game. We are still looking really, really good. Ajaria and White, the two products of our youth academy, not exactly having debuts to remember just yet. 5 minutes left. Barrow have had one shot on target, but it remains 1-0. That's always going to make me a little nervous. Jackson went out with the ball for them. Can we stop him from getting forward? Ajaria, don't get sent off. Don't be a melon. Marcel into a wide area. It's blocked. It gets deflected back to Campbell. Back with Marcel. He pulls it across. Morehouse gets it away. This feels nervy all of a sudden. I don't like this. This is the first highlight all game we're seeing with them having the ball. And with a few players on bookings, what we don't want right now is to go a goal down or a man down. Barnes now with the ball at the back. McGlynn trying to win the ball back. Realise, McGlynn's still playing as a target forward. I know how to play this game. We'll put him on attacking as a pressing forward. Marcel dinked him behind. Ajaria. I'll tell you what, it's a bloody good job that they can't score in it. If he hits the target, that's probably in. 4 minutes of added time. I am uncomfortable. I'm in a little bit of pain here. Football Manager, I wanted a nice, calm, relaxing start to the season. We've played so well in this game. Throwing it away now would be nothing short of disastrous. Rose to Spencer Addons, back to Rose, back to Jackson. They're not exactly pressing us, are they, here, Barrow? Rose plays it forward. Can Morehouse win the header there? He can't. Feels like we're second to every ball all of a sudden in this last 5 or 10 minutes. Kiate for them with the ball. Whipping it, it's deflected. It falls to Jackson. And it deflects off Ajaria at right back and goes in. It's a deflected cross into a deflected shot, and I'm just in a deflated mood. In a game that we've played so well in, we are going to get but a single point, unless there's some late drama. Jackson's shot here. Yeah, deflects off Ajaria. I mean, I want to be annoyed, but we just didn't create enough in this game. Loads of possession, less in the second half, but just nothing converted. They had one shot. Look at the match momentum. If I want to find a positive, we played really bloody well. If we play like that in a lot of other games, we probably win by a couple. And they are good, Barrow, but still. We've got to play better in the next game. Speaking of that next game, it's in 4 days' time against Eastleigh. Did they win their first game of the year? They lost to newly promoted Scarborough. Their media prediction is 16th. We should be beating them. We need to get our first win of the season in this game. Now, I'm going to be honest, as much as that last game sucked, I'm not going to kind of throw the baby out the bathtub. Is that the phrase? It's something like that. I'm not going to panic too much. Like, we played pretty well in that game. Barrow with one highlight, deflected shot goes in. That happens. It's Football Manager. But what I did like was the amount of possession that we had in that last game. Not really something we experienced that much last year. I do question how much players like Jackson here, left centre-back, who's got 12 passing, and also Kingdom, who's not a bad little passer, at least for this level, kind of contribute towards that. I feel like they are maybe a little bit more competent with the ball at their feet, to say the very least. Naturally, though, we do need a win. I'm not changing the team from the last game. It's the exact same team. Overton is on the bench, of course, coming back from that injury. I didn't want to rush him back for this one. I know that both White and Ajaria didn't have the best, games as young kids coming into the first team, but look, they need game time. I have to show a bit of faith. It'd be naive to throw them into the team and expect them to immediately hit the ground running. They are playing a very, very defensive shape here. I don't know how much I love this. You know what? We'll see what happens. I say a defensive shape, to be fair. We're playing the exact same shape, but with obviously 2 strikers rather than 2 centre attacking mids. It can be an attacking system. There's going to be opportunities to split them open, and well, we might be able to do it here. Ajaria's cross is blocked. Jackson, though, the left centre-back, gives it to Pye. Connor Pye breaks the deadlock 3 minutes in. You know what? I didn't expect Pye, our left back, to be the man scoring. That's fine with me. When this cross was cleared away, Jackson picks up the ball, and much like Kingdom did in the last game, turning provider, now it's our left centre-back laying it inside for a shot this time from our left back. I think he did get a couple of goals last year. He opens up for his account for the season there. Corner for us. Pye. Could he turn provider? Whip back post. Spencer Addons leaps highest. Header. Just the wrong side of the crossbar. We've had 7 shots so far in 17 minutes. Only 1 on target. Has anyone seen this movie before? Of course, shooting on target was an issue for us in the playoff final. I feel like an inability to finish was an issue last time. And Hume has just hit the crossbar there with an outrageous free kick. If that had gone in, I would have been on my feet. Still only 1 shot on target in this game. I'm going to encourage the players to work the ball into the box, but out of possession, I'm going to ask them to distribute it to the flanks. I feel like with 2 centre attacking mids and a lone striker, our wing-back should have a little bit of space to operate in this game. With that as well, I'm actually going to go to fairly wide too. Just looking for us to make the pitch wider, try and get into some space, open up some channels inside perhaps. Sadly, off the back of making those changes, nothing happened. They've had 1 shot in that half. It's not the first time I've said that today, is it? I'm getting deja vu. And I don't like it here. I need that second goal. I need a goal just to ease the nerves a little bit. Could we deliver it here? Jones to Hume. Both defensive mids linking up with one another. But back now with Jones. Should go back to Kingdom here, really. Spencer Addams could go right, does go right, back to Jones. Ajari is on the overlap. Jones is going all on his lonesome, could drill it across. Whittaker, still looking for his first shot, has his effort blocked. Whittaker right now on a 6.5. Missed that opportunity. I might show a load of bias this year to White and Ajaria and keep them on in games where maybe I shouldn't, but I feel like if I want them to develop, I've just got to do that. And I want them to develop, so I'm going to do that. Let's be honest, if you play Football Manager, we've all had that moment where there's a youngster, came through your academy and you show biased. And if you're telling me you've not done that, well, you don't play Football Manager right. Okay, Pye to Hume. Jones now with the ball. Jones has been very good, I feel like, a defensive midfielder in both our games. Jackson gives away the ball there. McCallum now looking to maybe inspire a counter-attack of sorts, although we win the back ball well there. And now it's with Overton, and that finish is what we were lacking in the last 2 games. That is sensational. I thought for a moment here they were going to spring some kind of a counter-attack, but the players just all held fort. Hume read the ball nicely, dinked it to Overton, and this finish in off the post. I really need Overton to stay fit. His goals are so vital. I did wonder with a 2-goal lead, maybe they would change their system to really go for it. They've not changed it. They've not gone for it. And, well, for a moment, it almost got worse. We've hit the woodwork there. That could have been free. It probably should have been free. Corner, Hume. We've seen this movie. We know what's going on. It's headed away, only as far as Overton. Plenty of players forward. Whipped in. White is there. He scores. Is he onside? He's onside, Andy White. I never doubted him. He is just very big in the match engine, Andy White. Like, you can see him. I don't know why he's the man going short. I really should have him in the box on corners. Overton whips it to him, timed his run to perfection. What an easy header to score, back post. That's why I kept him on. Now I look like a genius. Then again, I was going to say it could go badly still. I mean, we're 3 goals up. There's 10 minutes left. This game should just be game over, shouldn't it? That is a great tackle by Pye. And it's a penalty. How has that been given as a penalty? So I know the 3D is not an accurate reflection. That looked horse, rude word, in 3D. They've scored the penalty. It's 3-1. Is that Eastleigh's second shot of their game? It's their third on target. Did it look like a good tackle to you? Do I have a victim complex? I think I do. I think that's what it is. Well, the clean sheet is gone, but I'll tell you what, in spite of that, we've still played really well in this game. I'm going to praise the players. 3-1 this game's going to finish. Another dominant display, 19 shots away from home. Another game where, when you look at the match momentum, we've absolutely dominated. I'm going to view that Barrow game as just a little hiccup to start the year. If we can score 3 goals every game, we'll be laughing. Overton, man of the match, goal and an assist on his return. Please don't get injured. Really need to reiterate that. If this guy's injured, our season could be derailed. You know what? If you told me 4 points to start the season, I probably would have been a little bit disappointed. I wanted 6. But in terms of performances, we look really, really good. We're top of the XG table. No one else can sing that. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's episode. We will be back every weekday for the next, well, many months with episodes. So I'll see you tomorrow for more. Sound good? Capiche? Get it in your diary. I'll see you back here in 24 hours. I'm out.